Hi. Today, I want to share with you the 2 mindset routines that I do that have helped me maintain some calm during what is a pretty difficult time for all of us. I hope that maybe they'll help you. If they feel useful, try them. I would love to know if it works out for you. So the first thing I do is my daily mindset practice, which I do every day in the shower because it's something that takes about 5 or 10 minutes. It's best to do where you can have some quiet alone time. And as a mother of a toddler, my shower time is about the only time I know that I have that's alone time that I get most days. So all that you do is check in with yourself. You're going to ask yourself 3 questions about what's going on in your life. The goal is to do this to start once a day, so that it becomes something you're used to doing and becomes really simple. Eventually, when you get good at it, the goal is to be able to do it in real time as issues come up, as feelings and thoughts come up. But in the beginning, just try to start once a day to work through this and get used to it. So the 3 questions you're going to ask yourself are, 1, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? So just checking in with yourself. What issues are going on right now? Where am I holding resentment or frustration or anger? So get clarity on what issues are coming up. And then 2 is to ask yourself, what are the facts? For each of the thoughts and feelings that come up, ask yourself, what are the facts? And I can tell you, it's interesting how many of my clients, when I ask them what are the facts about that, think they're giving me facts, when in fact they're giving me feelings. Facts are things that you can measure, that we can know with certainty. So as an example, I'm going to end up homeless after all of this is not a fact, that's a feeling, it's a thought. It could become true, but we don't know it as a fact yet. I have $100 in my bank account. That's a fact. So get into the practice of learning what are facts and feelings. Seems obvious, but I promise it's not. And then number 3 is, what's my choice here? And at a time like this, it may feel like we don't have a lot of choices, but I can tell you, you always do. And the only thing that you can control is you. How you're going to react to things. You don't get to control circumstance. None of us gets to control that coronavirus has happened. We don't get to control how others react. We don't get to control that our partners are driving us crazy because we're in this small environment, whatever it is. You get to control how you're going to show up, how you're going to react, how you're going to respond to whatever's happening. So for each of the things you've thought through, now you know what's facts versus feeling, and now you can come up with what are you going to do about that. So as an example, my husband's been sick. I've been feeling some resentment about that. That's the feeling, right? That's number 1. Oh, the feeling is I'm feeling a bit resentful about my husband being sick. Well, number 2, what are the facts? The facts are he didn't choose to be sick and he can't control being sick. He can take medicine, he can do things, but he doesn't get to determine, he doesn't get to snap his fingers and not be sick, right? So number 3, what is my choice here? Well, my choice knowing that is I can get angry with him, but that's going to be pointless because he can't control what's going on. Or I can choose to be more empathetic. I can choose to try and help him by giving him medicine. I can choose to give him space so that he can get well faster. But I can come up with some actionable things I can do based on the facts that I have around that feeling. So get into that practice once a day to get used to it. And then as you get better at this, you can actually find yourself starting to be able to do it in the moment. As things come up, you can start to find yourself saying oh, I'm feeling so annoyed right now. What's this really about? What are the facts here, right? And then what can I do about this? What choice do I have? It can make a huge difference in how you feel. It's not about other people. It's about how you feel. And right now more than ever, we need things that are going to help us feel better and more calm. Okay, and then my second practice is a newer morning routine that I'm doing. And you can find an old thing here where I've talked about how I don't love morning routines, but I'm coming around to it particularly now, but I've been doing this for a while. This whole year, I've been doing this new morning routine. I don't do it every day. So I do it when I sit down to work. I only work 3 days a week usually, so I'm doing this about 3 days a week. But I can already feel a huge difference from doing it. So here are the things that I include in my morning routine, but you don't have to use these. Use what feels like in my work or don't use any of it. And also, it doesn't have to happen in the morning. You could do it in the evening or throughout the day. I do find doing it in the morning is a helpful way to kick the day off on a good foot, to start out in the right mindset. So the first thing I do is a 10-minute meditation. Simple. You can find all kinds of free resources for that, like the Headspace app or Calm. I just set a timer on Google Timer and the computer in front of me. Then I put my feet on the ground, my hands in my lap, I close my eyes, and I focus on my breath for 10 minutes. My brain constantly wanders. I constantly go back to just thinking about my breath. But by the end of that 10 minutes, even if I never am able to clear my mind, I feel relief. I feel tension come out of my shoulders, and I feel my breath slow down, and I just feel lighter and better. And what a nice way to start the day. From there, I go into a prayer. I am not a religious person at all, but I do find that using a prayer has been helpful for me. I do the prayer of St. Francis, which is really just about wanting to be of service, not making things about myself, learning how can I be of service to others. But if you don't like a prayer, you can do a mantra, an intention. It's just about sort of setting an intention for the day. And then from there, I move into healing vibes or healing thoughts, which is a little woo-woo for me, but it's been really great. I started this back when the Australia fires were happening. At that time, I was sending out healing thoughts to the people of Australia, also to people I knew who maybe were sick. Now, obviously, I'm sending healing vibes for people that are dealing with the coronavirus, or also just people who are feeling depressed because of what's going on or scared because of their finances. And healing that just the act of caring about others, starting your day with that intention to care about others, helps to remove all of it being about you, right? It takes us out of that woe is me place that we can all get into. It's easy to, and making it more about like, that's right, I'm part of a bigger global world and I care about others too. And that's a really powerful place to start from. And then I ask myself 4 questions. One is, how can I show gratitude today? So then I think about what I could do. Sometimes it means I just send a text to somebody to say I'm thankful. Sometimes it just means I write down a list of things I'm thankful for. Sometimes it means I go on social media and say something really great about my husband. But think about, how can I show some gratitude today? There are so many studies that show the immense benefits of gratitude. So making it part of a daily routine is so powerful. I use gratitude beyond just this morning routine, but I definitely include it here. The second question I like to ask myself is, how can I live into my values today? That's getting me starting my day thinking about what's important to me, what matters at my core, what do I care about? What am I here to do in this world, so that I can show up in ways that are meaningful? And then the third question is, what can I do today, even one incremental step, to move closer to my goals? That means at the end of the day, if I do that one small thing, even if it's send one email, right, or send one social media post, I know at the end of the day, I did something productive. How many times at the end of the day we feel like I didn't accomplish anything today? And then that makes you feel worse about yourself. So starting the day thinking about just one small thing you can do today, that if you accomplish that, you will have accomplished something, is also so great at the end of the days to feel like you're having more productive days. And then the fourth and last thing I ask myself, but it's fourth, but also probably most important, is how can I show myself some love today? At a time like this, that might just be, how can I give myself some grace? That might be the most loving thing I can do. How can I feel my feelings? Maybe it's I go and take 5 minutes away from my family so that I don't go crazy and I don't get angry with them. But thinking about, what can I do today to show myself some love? That's a thing that gets left off of most of our lists. And I think that's unfortunate, because it's like the old oxygen mask thing I talk about, which everyone does. And it's trite, but it's powerful and real. We have to put our own oxygen mask on to be able to help others. So we need to remember to include ourselves and include self-care and self-love, self-compassion within all of these things that we're doing. So those are the mindset tips, the mindset routines that I use. They are what's helping me, even though my bank account is dwindling every month, even though I'm not having new clients right now, even though I could be in a place of total panic, even though I have major anxiety issues, and even though I'm watching the news, that I'm able to maintain a pretty relative sense of calm through this, because I'm using my tools to make sure that I stay sane, I stay healthy, that I stay positive, because it's already hard enough for all of us to be trapped in our homes. To add me tumbling into a sadness that I can't pull myself out of isn't going to help. And then I want to finish with, of course, the most important caveat, that depression and clinical issues around our mental health go well beyond just a mindset hack. And in those cases, then you should be seeking out teletherapy right now, because we need to protect our mental health more than ever right now. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful.